Easterito mojitos,
Oh, very nice.
and some other drinks.
Okay.
So it's
Feel free
for
to get
everybody.
some food if you would like and drink as well.
Here's some.
Groggers. Okay. That's great. Hello, Robin. Do you need a cup? Excellent. You're all set. Thanks for doing that. Excellent. Appreciate it. Talk to me now. How are you? Good. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
How was that?
I don't
Fun.
drink the weekend.
Warm.
Nice weather.
Not snow.
Right down my voice. Right down my voice.
I know. I know.
Yeah, next Friday, I think the corner will be turning.
That would be great.
It's supposed to rain. That's what my friend said.
How are you?
I know.
Good to see you.
I think we both had it. I'm like, come on.
I love it.
The whole week is going to go out. I'm taking pictures. I heard 15
So the trick is to remember.
I'm not making it up. I'm serious.
How are you?
What a place to live, not a bad place. I just need to meet someone, but they're stuck here already. There's someone back here. I don't know. I guess so. I'm sorry. They don't come. There's a bag though. Wow. I wish I had a house. Right, exactly. Who doesn't know? I haven't been. You have to. Is this your seat? I'm attempting to do it from the school. Yeah. Sometimes everything is from the, not the scroll, but I'm trying to do it in the scroll. Yes, exactly. Just sparkling water for me. Gab by for me, just like
Sure.
follow. I have a sheet.
Okay. Yeah, you have to find the spot. That's gonna be the hard part.
No, I just hit it. Okay, you're right, you're right. It's not too long.
Yeah. Oh, it's right. It's in the first. Actually, I gotta get it.
There's some spots where I'm like, oof, like that's not exactly right, you know?
Let's see. You know where it is?
Let's see. Oh wait, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
This thing starts with a Vayomer Hamelech. I think it's over here somewhere.
Vayomer Hamelech, right there.
Yeah, but then I don't start exactly there. I'm just looking for.
Whoop.
It's somewhere over here, babe.
So Vayomer Hamelech is right there.
I'm looking for the Hayom Hazeh, but it's like just in the middle of something.
The Hayom has right here.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, cool. And I go all the way until, so I'm starting here for you, for when you're gabbing, basically here.
I have to admit, I'm not like
That's
the
okay.
best on Esther
That's
Group.
okay.
Like I know what I
You know
what
what
I
you know.
do, but
Yeah.
but
That's
I mean I
fine.
have the
I'll tell
main
you.
ones. The main ones I can help
That's
with.
fine.
Anything beyond that, you're on your.
It's just if I get off track, and
Yeah.
there's a detour, right, where is it?
Oh, you have a detour.
Yeah, so just when I go, I mean to go off.
Yeah.
When I go,
Yeah.
And the last.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
so it just flips this page. But
Okay.
okay, cool.
Great. Here,
Okay,
look
I
at
need to
see
make
if
sure
I.
I know where I am again too. Okay, you found it. Hang
Right
on.
there.
Okay. Okay. Oh, just okay. Okay. Cool. Exciting.
You guys
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah. What did I do with my?
These are all these sheets, but
No, but I printed one up with the blessings on it.
okay. I don't know.
Oh no! What did I do with it? Did I leave it in my office? I left it in my office. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, take your time. How are you? How's some out? Good to see you. Look ready. You like the colorful wig? Okay, good. Excellent. I have a wig for all of my glasses. What can I say? Okay. Do you need a copy?
No, I made a copy.
Okay, great.
That's the tough part. It's the tough part. Just to get sunglasses.
You're getting ready? You're warming up? You're practicing? Have you been doing wrist exercises? Like, you should probably stretch. If you need to do some stretching, some wrist stretching before you shake the dryer, you should do that. Yeah, exactly. Good practicing. Friends, Chag Sameach. It's good to have you all here. Thank you so much for being here tonight for our Megillah reading and Hamantashen making. I really want to thank Social Club. We approached them about, 6 months ago. We said, what if we did something together, all together for Purim? They throw such a good party, and we're grateful to the whole team. Can we give it up to Social Club for sponsoring this evening, for putting it all together? We are going to start with the Megillah reading, a little bit of the Megillah in Hebrew and in English, and then we will move over to the other side of the room for Hamantashen making. It's going to be an awesome evening. There are some more groggers maybe around on the tables. We don't want any wrist injuries, so be careful when you're grogging tonight. We appreciate it. There's pizza, there's drinks. You don't have to wait until this part's over to get some of that. There's Esther Hitos, I think, if you haven't had an Esther Hito, that's delicious. Kent is going to get us started with the blessings, and away we go. Chag Sameach.
Can we also thank Rabbi Masbacher, who helped put this together too? And Joanne, who helped with all the coordination of all the materials and everything like that. So we're going to begin with the blessing. We say the blessing over the Megillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who has sanctified us with God's commandments and commanded us concerning the reading of the Megillah. We say together, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who performed miracles for our forefathers in those days at this time. Amen. And at any new occasion, we say the words of Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. So we're going to begin. I'm going to chant. Emily and I are going to chant some of the first chapter of Esther. And by the way, in case you were wondering, I went to bed and I woke up and I had a full head of hair. It was quite amazing. Amen. Vayhi bimei Achashverosh. Hu Achashverosh. Hamolech mehodu v'yad kush. Sheva v'esrimu mea medina. Bayamim hahem keshevet. Hamelech Achashverosh. Al kisei malchuto asher b'Shushan habira. Bishnat shalosh lemolcho asa mishteh lechosarav chel paras umadai hapatemim v'sarei hamedinot lefanav.
והיום הזה תאמרנה שרות פרס ומדי, אשר שמעו את דבר המלכה לכל שרי המלך, וכדי ביזיון וקצף. ימול המלך טוב, יצא דבר מלכות מלפניו. וייכתב בדתי פרס ומדי, ולא יעבור, אשר לא תבוא ושתי פני המלך אחשוורוש, ומלכותו ייתן המלך לראותה, תבוא ממנה, ונשמע פתגם המלך אשר יעשה בכל מלכותו, כי רבה היא, וכל הנשאים ייתנו יקר לבעליהן, לימי גדול ועד קטן, וייטב הדבר בעיני המלך והשרים, ויעש המלך כדבר ממוכן, וישלח ספרים אל כל מדינות המלך, אל מדינה ומדינה ככתבה, ואל עם ועם כלשונו, להיות כל איש עורר בביתו, ומדבר כלשון עמו.
So to read chapters 1 and 2 in English, we want to invite Irene Goodman and then Susan Natelli. Come on up.
Thank you. Okay, so I go to Columbia, which means I'm extremely smart, smarter than all of you. And everything I have to say is extremely accurate because I read all the headlines and I read a history book. Now try to keep up because this is really accurate. There was this king in Persia, which used to be called Prussia, but now it's Persia. The king's name was Ali Baba. He reigned in Shushan, 127 provinces from the river to the sea, from the Mississippi River to the Baltic Sea. In the third year of his reign, he threw an awesome rave party lasting 180 days to show off his obscene and unfair privilege. Then he did a 7-day garden banquet for everybody in Shushan, from the oppressed working class to the fat cats hoarding all the wealth. Queen Vashti hosted a separate feast for the women, empowering them to reject male dominance. By the 7th day, after slugging down all that wine, the king was really wasted. He commanded his chamberlains to bring Vashti before him wearing the royal crown and not much else, so that he could show everybody how hot she was. Vashti said, "No way, you perv." The king's anger burned like an overactive Hamantashen oven. He consulted his advisors, all of whom were men. His advisor, Memucan, declared this was not just a personal insult, but a threat to the entire social order. "It certainly is," said Vashti. "If word spreads," the advisor warned, "women everywhere may begin having opinions." The solution? Vashti was canceled big time. Her job was up for grabs. Letters were sent throughout the empire declaring that every man should rule in his own house. Thus begins our story, with a rave, a male-dominated attempt to silence half the population, and a decree that lasted for just a few thousand years.
Thank you so much. All right, well done. Susan.
Amen, amen, amen. Sing it louder. Amen, amen, amen. So, when the king's anger cooled, his attendants suggested a royal beauty search to find the new queen. The king agreed. In Shushan lived Mordecai, a Jew from the tribe of Benjamin, descended from Ancestry.com. You'll get the whole lineage. Esther, the most important thing is that Esther was raised as his own daughter. Esther was taken to the palace among the gathered maidens. At Mordecai's instructions, she did not reveal that she was Jewish. Oh, duh, who ever heard of such a thing? Mordecai paced daily near the court, anxious for her welfare. When her turn came, Esther went before the king and found grace in his eyes. He loved her above all the others, set the royal crown on her head, and made her queen instead. Made her queen instead, made her queen instead. A great feast was proclaimed in her honor. That's a table for 6,000, please. A great feast was proclaimed, and meanwhile, Mordecai uncovered a plot by 2 royal guards to assassinate the king. Esther reported it in Mordecai's name. The conspirators were executed, and the matter was recorded in the royal chronicles. Keep that detail in mind. In Persia, even footnotes in history can raise to save the day.
Thank you, Susan, very much. Mr. Koch, and now we're going to have Miriam Cantor, who's going to come up to chant chapters 3 and 4.
Hello.
She brings prompts.
I have a small pile of props. I'm just going to show you because it's going to narrate my story. First of all, Haman stole this from a pirate, so it's his little pirate hat. Secondly, after Haman suggested the beauty contest and he found the luscious Queen Esther, his chair was elevated above all the other ministers, so this is going to be Haman's little chair. Later on, Mordecai, we know, would not bow down, so they drew lots to say, when are we going to kill the Jews? What day? They chose 13 of Adar, but things got a little backed up, so it turned out to be 14 of Adar. Next, we had Haman actually put money in the king's coffers to pay the people who would kill the Jews, so he gave them some money. And then there was a scroll that people were sent out to deliver through all 127 provinces to kill the Jews. Of course, we have the king's crown, we have the queen's tiara, we have Mordecai. He wore several different hats. First of all, he was the head of a household, so he wore your head of a household hat. On the down low, he was also Jewish, so he had the Jewish hat underneath. And finally, well, this is one of the runners who went out. They went out so fast that they went out without their shoes on. They went out barefoot. And finally, a third hat of Mordecai was this sackcloth, which when he finds out the Jews are going to be killed, he goes walking through the town with the sackcloth. But he doesn't go into the king's palace, into the courtyard, because you're not allowed to enter the courtyard with sackcloth on. And finally, the cup that Haman and King Ahasuerus, that's right, so Haman and King Ahasuerus drank from, and they say, yay, we're going to kill the Jews. Okay, that's the story. Let's read some again. No. Can you find my place? Okay. אחר הדברים האלה גידל אחר הדברים האלה גידל המלך אחשוורוש את המן. והנדתה האגגי, וינשאו, וישם את כיסו מעל כל השרים אשר איתו, וכל עבדי המלך אשר בשער המלך, קוראים ומשתחווים להמן. כי כן ציווה לו המלך ומרדכי לא יכרע ולא ישתחווה, ויאמרו עבדי המלך אשר בשער המלך למרדכי, מדוע אתה עובר את מצוות המלך? ויהי כאמרם אליו יום ולילה ולא שמע עליהם, ויגידו להמן. לראות ויעמדו דברי מרדכי, כי הגיד להם אשר הוא יהודי, וירא המן. כי אין מרדכי קורע ומשתחווה לו, וימלא המן חמא. ויבז בעיניו לשלוח יד במרדכי לבדו, כי הגידו לו את עם מרדכי, ויבקש המן להשמיד את כל היהודים אשר בכל מלכות אחשוורוש עם מרדכי. בחודש הראשון הוא חודש ניסן, בשנת 12 למלך אחשוורוש הפיל פור, הוא הגורל מפני המן. מיום ומחודש לחודשים אשר הוא חודש אדר, ויאמר המן למלך אחשוורוש, ישנו עם אחד, מפוזר ומפורד בין כל העמים, בכל מדינות מלכותך, ודתיהם שונות מכל עם. ויתתי המלך אינם עושים, ולמלך אין שווה להניחם. אם על המלך טוב, יכתב לעבדם, ו10,000 כיכר כסף. אשכול על ידי עושי המלאכה להביא אל גנזי המלך. ויסר אל המלך את טבעתו מעל ידו, ויתנה להמן. והעמדתה האגגית צורר היהודים, ויאמר המלך להמן, הכסף נתון לך והעם לעשות בו כטוב בעיניך. Okay. All right, now I have to go to the end. Okay. הרצים יצאו דחופים בדבר המלך, והדת ניתנה בשושן הבירה, והמלך והמן ישתו לשתות, והעיר שושן נבוכה. I need to put on my sackcloth. This is hard to put on the right way, but I think I got it. Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Is there a backwards for sackcloth?
Oh, I got it. Okay. Well, you get the idea. Okay. Okay. ומרדכי ידע את כל אשר נעשה, ויקרא מרדכי את בגדיו, וילבש שק ואפר, ויצא בתוך העיר, ויזעק זעקה גדולה ומרה, ויבוא עד לפני שער המלך, כי אין לבוא אל שער המלך בלבוש שק. ובכל מדינה ומדינה, מקום אשר דבר המלך ודתו מגיע, אבל גדול ליהודים, וצאן ובכי ומסתפד, שק ואפר יוצא לרבים. Let's see. Now, What's in the next part? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Now, Mordecai is appealing to Esther. And Esther, she says, you got to tell the king you're Jewish. She goes, what? She goes, Kol avdei hamelech ve'amidinot hamelech yodim asher kol ish ve'isha asher yavo hamelech el hachatzer hapnimit asher lo yikareh achad dato lehamit Levad me'asher yoshib lo hamelech et sharvit hazahav v'chaya va'ani lo nikreti lavo el hamelech ze shloshim yom Vayagidu leMordechai et divrei Esther vayomer Mordechai lehagid leEsther Al tidami b'nafshech lehimalet bet hamelech mikol haYehudim ki im hecharesh tacharishi be'et hazot ravach v'hatzala yamod leYehudim l'makom acher ve'at uvet avich tovedu umi yodea im le'et kazot higat la'al malchut v'tomer Esther la'ashiv el Mordechai Lech knosset kol Yehudim hanimtzim b'Shushan v'tzumo alai v'el tochlu v'el tichtu shloshet yamim laila v'yom gam ani v'narotai atzum kein uvechein avo el hamelech asher lo kadat v'chasher avadati vayas kechol asher tzivta alav Esther.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Sid, I don't know how you follow that up, my friends. We're waiting to see all the different things that you brought to add. Okay.
Tough act to follow.
Tough act to follow.
After these events, the king elevated Haman, the Agagite above all other officials. Everyone bowed down before him as commanded, except for Mordecai. You want to ask why Mordecai did not ban Haman, who was enraged, learning that Mordecai was Jewish. Haman escalated his fury from one man to the entire people. Lots were cast, called Purim, to determine the most auspicious day for the destruction of the Jews, the day chosen, the 13th of Adar. Haman told the king, this is a certain people, scattered and separate. Their laws differ. It is not in your interest to tolerate them. He offered 10,000 talents of silver to finance their elimination, an offer he felt the king could not refuse. The king handed Haman his signet ring and said, okay, do with them as you wish. Haman thought, wow. This is the beginning of a wonderful relationship. Letters were sent throughout the empire commanding that all Jews, young and old, women and children, be destroyed on the 13th of Adar and their property seized. The decree was sealed by Haman with a ring. The decree was sealed with fear. And Haman commanded his men. Haman said, take the knives, but leave the Hamantaschen.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay, the Wagners are up. Yes, Leslie.
There will be no improv. When Mordecai heard the terrible news, he tore his clothes, donned sackcloth and ashes, and cried out in the city. Sorry, I don't have my glasses. Throughout the provinces, Jews fasted and mourned. Esther learned of Mordecai's grief. He sent word of the decree and urged her to intervene. Esther replied that anyone who approached the king uninvited risked death unless he extended the golden scepter. Never heard it called.
Thoughts about that?
Never heard it called that before. She had not been summoned in 30 days. Mordecai answered, "Do not think you will escape in the palace. If you remain silent, relief will arise from elsewhere, but you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have come to royalty for such a time as this?" Esther responded, "Gather the Jews of Shushan, fast for 3 days. My maidens and I will also fast. Then I will go to the king, though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. Flour must rest before it rises. So too courage."
All right. Thank you so much, Leslie. And now Robin for chapter 5.
Okay. On the third day, Esther clothed herself in royal garments and stood in the inner court. The king saw her and extended the golden scepter. She approached and touched it. "What is your request?" he asked, "even to half the kingdom?" She invited the king and Haman to a banquet she had prepared. At the banquet, she again deferred her true request and invited them to a second feast the next day. Haman, left elated until he saw Mordecai still refusing to bow. His joy collapsed like an underbaked pastry. At home, Haman boasted of his wealth and promotion, but admitted that none of it satisfied him while Mordecai still sat at the gate. Haman's wife, Zeresh, replied, "Let a gallows be made, 50 cubits high, and have Mordecai hanged. Then you can go in merrily with the king to the banquet." Satisfied with the plan, Haman had the gallows constructed.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much, Jen, Bill. Where are you? Chapter 6.
Also no improv, but I did bring my glasses. Oh, they don't work well with the crown. That night, the king could not sleep. He ordered the chronicles read and discovered Mordecai's unrivaled act of loyalty. Too loud?
No, it's good.
Louder.
Only for people on stream.
What honor was given to him? Nothing. At that moment, Haman was... Haman was waiting in the courtyard to request Mordecai's execution. The king asked Haman, "What should be done for the man whom the king delights to honor?" Assuming he was the subject, Haman proposed royal robes, the king's horse, and a public parade declaring the man's honor. "Excellent," said the king. "Do for Mordecai the Jew." Crestfallen, Haman did as the king commanded him. Haman dressed Mordecai in royal apparel and led him through the streets proclaiming his honor. Afterward, Haman hurried home in mourning. His advisors warned him, "If Mordecai is of Jewish descent, you will not prevail." Mid-sentence, he was summoned to Esther's second banquet. Timing in this story, as in the baking of Hamantaschen, is everything.
Thank you so much. And Michelle and Leslie for chapter 7.
At the second banquet, the king again asked Esther her request. She answered, "My people and I have been sold to destruction." "Who is he who would do such a thing?" demanded the king. Esther said, "The adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman." The king stormed into the garden. Haman begged Esther for his life.
When the king returned, a chamberlain noted that Haman had built a gallows for Mordecai, the man who saved the king. "Hang him on it," said the king. And so Haman was hanged on the very gallows that he had prepared. What he had shaped for another became his own design.
Wow, that evil laugh is awesome. Okay, thanks, Michelle and Leslie. And I think we're up to Michael Starr, chapter 8.
Now the king gave to Esther all of the estate of Haman. And Mordecai was elevated and given the royal signet ring. And Esther pleaded with the king. She said, Haman, can't you reverse the evil decree? But the king replied that a decree sealed with the king's ring can never be revoked, but a new decree could be written. A counter decree was issued granting the Jews the right to assemble and defend themselves in the appointed day. Groovy. Mordecai left the palace clothed in royal blue and white, and crowned in gold. Shushan rejoiced. In every province where the decree reached, there was joy, feasting, and celebration.
All right, Cantor, you're up for chapters 9 and 10.
Gotta find it. Okay, so here we have Haman's sons' names, right, Boo? And we have to do it in one breath, so you'll hear me do it in one breath. Ushushan habira, hargu hayehudim ve'abed, chamesh meot ish. Wird Pashandata, wird Dafon, wird Espata, wird Porata, wird Adaya, wird Eridata, wird Pamashta, wird Erisai, wird Eridai, wird Erizata. Aseret b'nei Haman. Hamidata, Sored HaYehudim haragu. And this is the end of the book. Vayasem Hamelech HaKashverosh Mas Al Haaretz V'yeh Hayam V'chol Ma'aseh Tokpo U'Gvurato U'Farashat Gedulat Mordechai Asher Gidelo Hamelech Elohim Ketuvim Al Sefer Divrei Hayamim Lemalchei Madai Ufaras Ki Mordechai HaYehudi Mishneh LaMelech HaKashverosh Begadol LaYehudim V'ratzui lerov echav, doresh tov le'amo, v'dover shalom lechozaro.
And to bring it home, Mindy and Matt Tindell. All right, let's hear it.
It's a little high, but I don't know if I need it, so. On the 13th of Adar, the Jews gathered to defend themselves. Their enemies were defeated. In Shushan, 500 were slain, including Haman's 10 sons. At Esther's request, the defense in Shushan extended one more day. Across the provinces, 75,000 enemies fell. Yet the Jews did not lay hands on the spoil. Relief came. Sorrow turned to joy. Mourning turned to festivity. Mordecai established the 14th of Adar as a yearly day of feasting, sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor. Because Haman had cast lots against them, these days were called Purim, a festival born of reversal, a triangle where a straight line of hatred once stood.
King Ahasuerus imposed tribute upon the land. Mordecai the Jew became second only to the king, great among his people, seeking their welfare and speaking peace to all his descendants. And so the story ends, not merely with survival, but with elevation, responsibility, and remembrance. Tonight we tell it. Soon we will fold dough into 3 corners. We will fill the empty center. We will taste what it means, that what was meant for harm can be something sweet. Chag Purim Sameach.
Can we give a round of applause to all of our readers? It is a mitzvah to hear the Megillah, and you have fulfilled that mitzvah. And now we're going to turn to making hamantashen, and I'm turning it over to Leslie for further instructions. Thanks again to all of our readers.
Of course.
So if you signed up to make hamantashen, go to the back table, grab one of these things of dough, and grab a tin container, and await further instructions.
Find a place around one of the tables.
Yes, and find a place around one of the round tables. And I will do a demo.
Well done, Sid.
Make the great rock star.
It's one time a year I can have hair, you know.
Well, I love that you said you woke up and you had hair. I think that's fantastic. Anyway, this
You didn't
was
believe
great.
that?
I do. Talk some man.
If you're just eating and not making hamantashen, please come to one of the rectangular tables. If you're making hamantashen, please go to a round table.
Nicely done.
Thank you.